Good morning students. Welcome to online teaching session of Academic World School Timitara. Today we will do the second lecture, that is the continuation of chapter number 2, that is nutrition in animals. Now in the previous lecture we have seen what are the steps involved in nutrition. Means first we have seen in the very first chapter what is nutrition. We have seen how plants take their nutrition. In this chapter, we are focusing on how animals gain their or obtain their nutrition. As animals obtain their nutrition from other organisms, so this mode of nutrition is known as holozoic nutrition. And the steps involved in nutrition for animals are: first is ingestion, second is digestion, then absorption, then assimilation, and then egestion. In the last class or in the last lecture, we have seen nutrition in single cellular organism, that is amoeba. In single cellular organism also, these 5 steps are involved, and these 5 steps comes one after another. It's not that after digestion there is assimilation and then absorption. No, these 5 steps comes one after another. Now, for different organisms, different organs are related. Like if you remember, for amoeba, it is pseudopodia. What is pseudopodia? The false feet. For mosquito, it is sucking tube. For bird, it is beak. For human, we use our hand to put the food in our mouth and then the system goes on. Now, in the first lecture, we started with nutrition in humans and we reached till half of it. So, just before I start with the continuation, whatever we have done for digestion in humans, what are the organs associated or parts associated for ingestion? The parts associated for ingestions are teeth and mouth. As we put the food in our mouth and teeth breaks the food into smaller pieces, that process is known as mastication. And inside mouth we are having tongue. Tongue gives taste, it provides taste to the food. After the food is broken, next, that is ingestion is done, food is put in our mouth. Next step is digestion. Ingestion, putting food in our mouth with the help of teeth and breaking it into smaller pieces. With the help of our hand and breaking food into smaller pieces. Next is digestion. What is digestion? Digestion is breaking down of food into smaller pieces and utilizing it to gain energy. Breaking down of complex food into smaller pieces. Now in case of humans, there are many organs associated for digestion. And the path of this whole system is known as digestive system or alimentary canal. The overall path or the route is known as alimentary canal. Now for digestion, the first organ that is associated is mouth. The first organ that is associated is mouth. Now in the mouth, it has salivary gland. So in the mouth, we are having salivary gland. What is the function of salivary gland? Salivary gland produces saliva. Saliva mixes with the food. It moistures the food. It makes the food softer, and then the food is passed to the next organ, that is known as esophagus. That is known as esophagus. Esophagus is nothing but it is food pipe. So in the mouth we are having salivary gland. Salivary gland produces saliva. Function of saliva is to moisten the food, make the food softer and pass it to the next step or the next organ, that is esophagus. There in esophagus no digestion takes place. Just it is the path through which the food passes. It is known as food pipe. From esophagus the food is passed to stomach. From esophagus, the food is passed to stomach. What happens in stomach? Stomach is a U-shaped structure. If you remember, food churns. It churns means there is movement of food in the stomach. Stomach secretes few digestive juices. Like it secretes mucus, it secretes hydrochloric acid, and it also secretes juices which breaks down protein. One more point, in salivary gland secretes saliva. It secretes a saliva which is known as salivary amylase, and function of salivary amylase is to break down carbohydrate. Next, from here it is passed to esophagus, and from esophagus it is passed to stomach. Now what happens in stomach? Stomach, it secretes the digestive juices which breaks down protein. Hydrochloric acid is present which kills the bacteria, and it is having mucus. Now what happens? Mucus, it forms a lining, inner lining in the stomach, and it protects the stomach from this hydrochloric acid or from other acids. Now from stomach the food is passed to next organ which is known as small intestine. The overall digestion ends up in small intestine. So these are the organs for digestion, that is mouth, salivary gland, esophagus, stomach and small intestine. Overall digestion ends up in small intestine. What happens in small intestine? Small intestine, it's a long tube-like structure of 7.5 meter long which wraps up and coils up and it's inside our body. Now what is the function? Here what happens? The liver are present. Liver produces bile juice. Which is stored in gallbladder. Liver produces bile juice which is stored in gallbladder. And the function of bile juice is it breaks the fat. Function of bile juice is to break the fat. And other side, it also pancreas are present which produces pancreatic juice. Function of pancreatic juice is to break down protein, carbohydrates and fats. So overall digestion ends up in small intestine. Now what happens? After the food is digested, now what happens? The food is broken down completely into smaller pieces. Now comes the next step where absorption takes place. Now comes the next place where absorption takes place. What happens in absorption? In absorption, blood absorbs the digested food. Digested simpler food. As in digestion, the food is completely broken down into smaller and simpler pieces which ends up in small intestine. Next comes the role for absorption. What happens in absorption? Blood absorbs the digested simpler food from this digested part. After absorption comes the next step, that is assimilation. What is the function? What is the work for in assimilation? In assimilation, blood. It carries the absorbed food to different parts of the body so that body can utilize those nutrients or those food. So assimilation, what happens? Blood carries the absorbed food to different parts of body. So what happens in assimilation? Blood carries the absorbed food to different parts of the body. Now in absorption, here blood is absorbing, but which organ is playing role? Organ called villi. Organ called villi. Now what is villi? It is a finger-like projections, finger-like structures. It helps to absorb the nutrients from the digested food. Now as it is finger-like projections, it increases the surface area. Villi is the finger-like small projections which is present in the small intestine, and it increases the surface area for absorption of digested food. So absorption complete. Next comes assimilation, where the absorbed food is carried to different parts of the body with the help of blood. After assimilation comes egestion. Before that, what is the function of assimilation? As it is carrying the absorbed food to different parts of the body, means this soluble food is providing energy to us, which is stored in our body for future use, and it provides energy and other nutrients to our body. Next comes the last step, that is egestion. After absorption takes place, the unwanted and undigested food is passed to the next organ, which is known as large intestine. Here plays the role large intestine. Here plays the role large intestine. Now what happens in large intestine? In large intestine, the water and salts are absorbed from the undigested food. Just don't get confused. Once again, I hope you have written till digestion in last day, and today you will start from absorptions and you are writing. So absorption, villi is playing the role. After that, villi increases the surface area for absorption of digested food. Now from here it goes to next step, that is assimilation. What happens? Your blood carries the absorbed food to different parts of the body. After that comes the egestion. What is egestion? Egestion means throwing out the unwanted or undigested food from our body. That is the last step. Now which organ is playing role here? Large intestine. First, with the organ which is playing role is large intestine. Now what happens in large intestine? Water and salts are getting absorbed. Water and salts are getting absorbed from the unwanted or undigested food in the large intestine. As the water and salt is absorbed, now the unwanted liquid part becomes semi-solid, which is known as feces. The unwanted product from which when water and salt is absorbed, now it becomes semi-solid, which is known as feces. Now this feces, here what is formed? It forms feces. Now this feces is transformed to rectum. It is transported to next step. It is not transformed, it is transported to next part, that is rectum. And from rectum, it is thrown out from our body with the help of anus. So what are the organs that is associated with digestion? First is large intestine, then rectum, and then anus. So what happens in large intestine? The unwanted, undigested portion, that is the liquid portion, is transported in large intestine. Here water and salts gets absorbed. Once water and salts gets absorbed from the unwanted and undigested product, it becomes semi-solid, which is known as feces. Now this feces is transported to next organ, which is known as rectum. And from rectum, it is thrown out from our body with the help of anus. So these are the organs associated with large intestine. So here we start ingestion with teeth and mouth, and we complete our digestion with the help of large intestine, rectum and anus. This overall is the steps and the organs that is associated or involved for nutrition in humans. See, the first objective that is written here, nutrition in humans. So, ingestion, digestion, absorption, assimilation, egestion. These are the steps. Ingestion means taking of food. Digestion means breaking down of food into smaller particles. Absorption means absorbing blood, absorbing the digested food. Assimilation, blood is carrying the digested food to different parts of the body. And egestion means throwing out the unwanted or undigested food from our body. This overall process is nutrition in humans. And with this, we end our first topic, that is nutrition in humans. I hope it is clear. So, the organs, this is the main organ for nutrition or digestion, that is mouth, where salivary gland is present. Saliva, it produces saliva which breaks down saliva. The main function of saliva is to break down carbohydrate, and it moistens the food, and then the food is passed through esophagus. From esophagus, it is a food pipe, which is a channel through which the food is passed to stomach. In stomach, many digestive juices are present like mucus, then other digestive juices which breaks protein and hydrochloric acid, each having different functions. After the food is reacting with digestive juices, then it is passed to small intestine. In small intestine, liver and pancreas are present. It plays the role in small intestine. The juice that is produced from liver and pancreas, that plays a role, and ultimately the digestion ends in small intestine. So if you are asked that at which step or which organ the digestion ends, you have to answer small intestine. In small intestine, the digestion comes to an end. After the food is digested, now absorption assimilation takes place, and once the absorbed food is done, the unwanted or undigested food is thrown out from our body. That step is known as digestion. Now, this was the process that takes place in humans. So in first class we have seen nutrition in amoeba, where we have seen these 5 steps. Here nutrition in humans, where also we have seen this 5 steps. Now we will see how nutrition takes place in grass eating animals. Nutrition takes place in grass eating animals. Steps will be same. Let me remind you, steps will be same, that is ingestion, digestion, then absorption, then assimilation and egestion. So next we are focusing on nutrition in ruminants. Nutrition in ruminants. Now what is ruminants? Grass eating animals are known as ruminants. Why it is known as ruminants? Now what are the examples of grass eating animals like cows, buffaloes. Now you will see these grass eating animals, they are chewing and chewing. You will observe when you see them, you will see that they are chewing something. Most of the time you will find them chewing. Even if there are no grasses, still they keeps on chewing. Why do they chew all the time? Now first comes to ingestion. Ingestion means taking in food. These grass eating animals, they take as much of grass as possible. They keep on taking as much of grass as possible. They are taking it with the help of teeth and mouth. They are chewing it and they are swallowing it. They are chewing it and they are swallowing it. This process keeps on going. Saliva is present. Saliva mixes with the grass and they swallow it. Now what happens? In mouth food is taken, saliva is present. So teeth and mouth, in mouth saliva is present. Now this what happens? This grass is chewed and they swallow it. But the thing which you need to remember is when they are taking it for the first time, when they are taking the grass for the first time, they do not chew it completely. They chew it partially, saliva mixes with it and they swallow it. They take as much as possible. Now from here it is passed through. So from ingestion takes place, next comes the next row, that is digestion. So mouth, in mouth saliva is present. Saliva is present. Now this is passed through esophagus. They are also having esophagus, that is the food pipe, and it is transported to next part, that is stomach. Now in case of grass eating animals, stomach, we need to focus on stomach. Why? Because they are having 4 chambers in stomach. For grass eating animals, they are having 4 chambers in stomach. So this much is clear, that mouth, saliva, esophagus and then stomach. Now we will focus mainly on stomach. They are having 4 chambers. First chamber is rumen. First chamber is rumen. Second chamber is reticulum. Third chamber is omasum and fourth chamber is agmasum. For digestion in ruminants, keep in mind they are having 4 chambers, that is 4 chambers. For stomach. What are the 4 chambers? First is rumen, second is reticulum. First is rumen, second is reticulum, third is omasum and fourth is agmasum. Now of this, rumen is the largest. Rumen is the largest. So what happens? As I told, they take as much of grass as possible. It mixes with the saliva. It here in mouth, saliva is present. It mixes with saliva and then it is passed to esophagus, and from esophagus it is passed to stomach. So they are taking as much of grass as possible and they are taking it in the first chamber, that is rumen. on those cellulose and it helps the animal to digest the cellulose. So partially the food is digested. Partially the food is digested. This partial digested food is known as cud. C-U-D, cud. The partially digested food is known as cud. Now what happens? From rumen, the partially digested food where bacteria is acting on cellulose and it breaks the cellulose, the food becomes partially digested. It is transported to next step, that is rumen. That is reticulum. Now what happens in reticulum? The cud that is formed, it is brought back to the mouth again in small lump. In reticulum what happens? The cud that is formed, it is brought back into the mouth in small lump and the animals rechew it and then they swallow it. They keep on chewing it. That's why we see almost most of the grass-eating animals to keep on chewing, because they bring back the food to their mouth again and they rechew it and then they swallow it. This process is known as rumination, and so these animals are known as ruminates. These cud chewing animals. What is cud? If you remember in first chamber, when bacteria is acting on the grasses and breaks the cellulose, the food is partially digested and that is known as cud. Now that cud is transported to next step, next part or the next chamber, that is reticulum, and from reticulum this cud is brought back in small lump and here the animals keep on chewing and then they re-swallow it. So the next step, that is reticulum. From here the cud is brought back to the mouth, which is rechewed and re-swallowed. After it is rechewed and re-swallowed, then it is transported to the next step, that is omasum. What happens in omasum? Omasum is the third chamber and it is the smallest chamber of the stomach. Omasum is the smallest chamber of the stomach. Here actually it is the step where excess of water is absorbed. In omasum, excess of water is absorbed. After it is absorbed, excess of water is absorbed, now the food is transported to the fourth chamber, which is known as abomasum. Actually, the actual digestion takes place from abomasum. Here, the digestive juices are secreted. That is the fourth chamber. It secretes the digestive juices which helps in digestion. So, what are the four chambers? The four chambers of stomach present in ruminants, that is the grass-eating animals, are rumen, reticulum, omasum and abomasum. Which is the largest chamber? The largest chamber is rumen. From rumen the food is partially digested food, that is cud, is passed to reticulum. From reticulum, the partially digested food, that is cud, is brought in small lump to mouth where the food is rechewed and it is re-swallowed. And it is transported to next chamber of the stomach, that is omasum. In omasum, it is the smallest chamber where excess water is absorbed. And the food is transported to the fourth chamber, that is abomasum. Abomasum, it secretes the digestive juices and it helps in digestion. Once digestion ends here, next what happens? After digestion is, the food is digested, now it is transported to small intestine. In small intestine, again the absorption starts taking place, and in small intestine, if you remember, like the same which happened in case of nutrition in humans, liver and pancreas are present. In small intestine, liver secretes bile, and pancreas secretes pancreatic juices which acts on the digested food which is in abunasa. In abunasa we are having the digested food. Now this digested food is passed to small intestine. In small intestine, the juice secreted from liver and pancreas, it starts acting, and gradually the food is broken completely into smaller pieces, completely into smaller particles or simpler products. After the food is completely digested in small intestine, digestion ends and comes the next step, that is absorptions. Here absorption same as the blood absorbs the digested simpler food and it is sent to next step. The next part comes to action, that is assimilation. What happens in assimilation? Blood carries the absorbed food to different parts of the body so that animal can store it for future use and it helps the animal to perform different activities. The undigested food, the undigested or the unwanted food is then passed to large intestine. That is the last step, that is egestion. Here in egestion the unwanted or undigested food is thrown out from the animal's body. So the same 5 steps are involved even if it is single cellular microorganism, even if it is human, or even if it is grass-eating animals. The 5 steps are ingestion, then digestion, then absorption, then assimilation, and then egestion. The organs that is associated with each steps are almost also same. But in case of grass-eating animals, in stomach they are having 4 chambers, that is rumen, reticulum, omasum and abomasum, of which rumen is the largest. If you get a question that name the largest chamber of grass-eating animal, it is rumen, and name the smallest chamber of grass-eating animal, that is omasum. So with this we almost end up this chapter. We have seen steps involved in nutrition, or steps involved in nutrition in animals, where microorganisms we have seen, humans we have seen, and grass-eating animals also we have seen. The assignment related to this topic is already uploaded in ERP. Kindly go through it, download it, do it and show it to me.